All right. What's up? This is Warren Freeman back with Warren's Vlog, episode 2. Let's go. Smackdown review, August 20th, 2021. So we start off, we're going to get right into it. We start off with the Edge promo. Very good, intriguing promo. Edge basically saying that, Seth Rollins is, he's taken him back to that dark place, a place that he doesn't really like to go, but deep down inside he likes it. So very good Edge promo. I do feel like Edge's pyro has gotten weaker. I don't know why. Like I remember back in the day when Edge, did his pyro. It just seemed like it was more powerful back then than it is now. I don't know. That was just a little bit of a gripe I have with that. But the quote I want to take from that promo was he said he was going to break, humble, and burn Seth Rollins down. Will he get that done? You guys will find out in my predictions video. You'll also find out tonight at SummerSlam. But I'm also going to do a prediction video after this SmackDown review. All right, then we go to Rey Mysterio versus Jey Uso with Dominic in Rey's corner and Jimmy Uso in Jay's corner. Now, if you watch SmackDown, you'll notice the botch. It actually said Jimmy Uso. So, there's that. But it was Rey versus Jay. Pretty competitive match. I like the Eye moonsault on both the Usos. That was creative. That was a nice way to, take us to commercial break. After commercial break, Dominic tried to get involved in the match, and the referee, Charles Robinson, caught him and threw Dominic out of the ringside area. But before Dominic could leave, Jimmy Uso attacked Dominic. Jay rammed Rey Mysterio into the steps. Did the Uso splash? 1, 2, 3. So the Usos got the momentum going into SummerSlam with the win there. Jay over Rey Mysterio. So Dominic tried to cheat and got caught. Eddie Guerrero would not be proud. I say, what are you doing? So there's some dissension between them. So I'm going to talk about that more in my predictions video. All right, going to do a recap of Corbin stealing the Money in the Bank briefcase last week. This is really reminiscent of the angle they ran for the Intercontinental title back in 2015 on a lead up to WrestleMania 31, which I've actually reviewed on this channel, where basically everyone was stealing the Intercontinental Championship heading into the event, except it's just Baron Corbin stealing the briefcase. And we know that from the past that not anybody can just cash in the briefcase. Excuse me. Whew. Not anybody could just cash in the briefcase and obtain the title, because remember last year, John Morrison tried to cash in the briefcase for Miz in that TLC match, and even though Miz failed, Adam Pearce gave him the briefcase back because it was Morrison that cashed in and not Miz. So I'm not sure where we're going with this whole Corbin stealing the briefcase thing. It's not like he can cash in a briefcase on a champion. Anyhow. And if he did, it would be overturned, you would think. But anyway, so Corbin steals the briefcase. That's the recap of last week. This week he comes out with no music. I guess he can't afford music anymore. I don't know. And this is going to get my first dislike. Corbin versus KO. Edge promo got a like. Rey Mysterio versus Jey Uso got a like. KO versus Corbin is going to get a dislike. A common theme that you'll see in this video for my dislikes are the matches that I didn't like. I don't feel like they had any heat. I really don't. And I'll explain more as I get to every match. But Corbin and KO got a dislike. I like the senton off the apron. Big E causes the DQ when he tries to intercept Corbin still in the briefcase, but Corbin rams Big E into the ring post and escapes with the briefcase anyway. The line of the night was Pat McAfee. He said, there's a 6'6" trash bag on the run. Line of the night for me. personally. All right, then we go to Sasha, or we go to a recap. They did a lot of recaps tonight, I've noticed. They recapped that contract signing between Bianca Belair and Sasha twice tonight. So they did the recap here. They had the Bianca interview, and she said, "I'm done being the nice girl. I'm going to show the WWE that I'm the meanest, the baddest, and the nastiest." Basically hyping up her double match with Carmella and Zelina Vega, which I'll get into later. Then we go to Shotzi and Nox versus Tamina and Natalya. And this is a #1 contenders match for the Women's Tag Team Championships. So, just to show you how thin the women's division is, or at least the tag team division, they're having a #1 contenders match against the champions. Like, that's how thin the division is. It's pretty sad. I gave this a dislike. Again, no heat. Tamina knocks off the apron for the whole duration of the match. I don't even think Nox tagged in. She did recover and hit a crossbody on Tamina, but then that distracted Natalya. And then Natalya just got rolled up and pinned. It just, like I said, it was no heat. And pretty sad affair, state of affairs for the tag team division. Like I said, your #1 contenders matches against the champions. So I gave that a dislike. Then we go to Seth Rollins' promo, which basically he's retorting everything that Edge said. But this is probably my favorite part of Smackdown of the whole night. As Seth Rollins is cutting his promo, he's basically, Edge appears on the Titantron, and you hear the Brood music playing in the background. And if you're an Attitude Era fan, you know about the Brood music. It's that dun, 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 and Edge is saying, "Oh, the freaks come out at night." Callback to, I think, one of his first words in the WWE ever. And he basically says, "You'll never see it coming, Seth." And then a black goo falls from the sky all over Seth Rollins' white suit. He's squirming around the ring. He's squirming around the ring with black shit all over him. It's awesome. It's funny. It's great, and it is my favorite part of SmackDown. Definitely gave that a like. Again, I'm going to get more into who I think's going to win, who I think's going to lose when I do my prediction video, because I'm actually going to post that today and upload it as well. So if it seems like I'm cruising through SmackDown, that's probably why, because I want to save a lot of my predictions for the prediction video. But one thing about SmackDown I will say that has the advantage overall is that SmackDown is a breeze to get through. You know, even without commercials, Raw is still 2 hours, and you think, well, that's not a long time. But SmackDown, an hour and 20 minutes, it's a breeze to watch, and that's without commercials. So then we go to Montez Ford versus Otis. I gave that a dislike. Again, no heat, which you would think you'd have heat coming into this match because Otis injured Montez Ford 2 months ago. But again, I don't feel like this match really had any heat to it. It was okay. Otis went over with the Vader Bomb, and that was kind of it. Yeah. Then we go to Rick Boobs and his debut match, teaming up with Nakamura, the new Intercontinental Champion Nakamura versus General Aziz and Apollo Crews. I don't feel like this match had any heat either, but I did like it because I like what Rick Boobs did. I like the switching gut wrench suplex. That was really nice. And then Rick Boobs pinned Apollo Crews. So, yeah, great tag team match. Pat McAfee acting like a fool, dancing on the announce table. That's always good to see. And then we go to Bianca Belair and Zelina Vega, Bianca Belair and Zelina Vega, and then Bianca Belair and Carmella, which I guess you can call it a gauntlet match, but not really because they rang the bell in between the two matches. Why they didn't just have a handicap match, I don't understand. Also, no appearance from Sasha tonight. That was kind of weird, but anyway, Zelina Vega almost got the win with a surprise sunset flip that Bianca kicked out of. Bianca hit the KOD, 1, 2, 3. Same thing with Carmella. Carmella went for the X Factor, and I've never seen this before. Carmella goes for the X Factor, and Bianca counters the X Factor, pushes her back up into a spine buster. It was awesome. Then she hit the KOD on Carmella and got the 1, 2, 3. No one likes Reimer, I know. One thing I've always wondered is, like, I guess the Burning Hammer is still banned from the WWE, or is it? I don't know. But why doesn't she just use the Burning Hammer? I mean, very few people have kicked out of the KOD. So I like the KOD. Don't get me wrong. It's a cool move, but I would just like to see someone other than Brian Kendrick hit the Burning Hammer. That's all I'm saying. Small critique. I gave both those matches alike. They were short, but they were what they needed to be. They needed to showcase Bianca Belair as a badass heading into SummerSlam. And with Sasha not even being on the show, I think that was a good move. All right, then we go to the main event segment, which I got to admit, I spoiled it for myself. I watched it on YouTube last night before I actually watched the show. Going into this episode of Smackdown, I always thought that the segment that they did last week between Cena and Roman Reigns should have been the segment they did this week. And even after watching SmackDown, I still agree with that, because if you didn't watch that segment between Roman Reigns and John Cena last week on SmackDown, I just want to talk about that for a little bit. That was damn good. Roman Reigns has come a long way since, we'll just say 2017, because that was Cena and Roman Reigns' last program. You know how WWE doesn't like to mention stuff that happened in the past. They like to think that we forgot. But I remember this shit. And I remember John Cena and Roman Reigns having an interaction in 2017 on Raw. And John Cena eating Roman Reigns up on the mic. It was embarrassing. But to see that Roman Reigns from 2017 to Roman Reigns now, 4 years later, Roman has come a long way on the mic. He is much more confident. No more of that suffering succotash son shit. Roman Reigns is competent on the mic. Plus, he has Paul Heyman to do his talking for him, so he's got that in the bag. But yeah, last week was crazy. I'm not sure where the missionary line came from, because Roman Reigns said, "Yeah, you know, you've done all this stuff, former WWE champion, blah blah blah, and missionary works for you." But it didn't work for but it didn't work for Nikki Bella. And I don't get how, like, I felt like that was a shoehorn sex joke. But then John Cena came back and said, man, you know, you've been protected. You've been protected by the system. You've been protected by the Shield. And then he said that you ran Dean Ambrose out of the company. You almost ruined Seth Rollins. Well, I said that backwards. But basically, that got a huge pop. And then John Cena said, you know what? I am going to take the WWE or the Universal Championship back to Hollywood. And I'm going to jump the barricade and maybe even blow you a kiss. Referencing CM Punk. Speaking of which, real quick, it's nice to see CM Punk back in AEW. I did catch that segment last night. Good for Punk. Good for AEW. It's a cue for them. Heads up. Great job for them. Good cue for AEW. But, yeah. So Cena was making Punk references and making Dean Ambrose references and shit. And so that was last week. And I thought that promo was incredible. And I think that if you would have put that promo on this SmackDown leading up to SummerSlam, it would have been better. This promo was okay. Cena basically said much of the same shit that he said last week. You know, all I need is 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 blah. All I need is 1, 2, 3. And then at the end of the segment, they shook hands. Oh, so there's a stipulation that got added to this Universal title match. And that stipulation is Roman Reigns basically said, either I'm walking out of that stadium with the Universal title or I'm leaving WWE. So, That's a stipulation, and again, I'm going to talk about this more when I do my predictions video. But I think they added their stipulation for a reason, and I'm going to go back and tell you that reason when I do that video. But anyway, they shook hands. Roman Reigns then tried to pick Cena up, and it's some sort of a fireman's carry. I don't know if he was going to go for the Samoan drop, or maybe he was teasing the attitude adjustment, but Cena got out of it and then did hit the schoolboy or Roman Reigns, to get to 1, 2, 3. But if you count it, Reigns kicked out at 2. And even Pat McAfee even said that. Again, good segment. I gave that a like, but that segment last week was fucking fire. And I think if you would have switched those two around, you'd have a better story to tell going into SummerSlam. Although the physicality between them happening tonight, okay, I see why the physicality part waited for this week on SmackDown, but I still think you should swap those promos around. And then you can still do the physicality shit, but swap the promos. And that's my only gripe on it. I gave that a like. SmackDown, I gave, so we got 8 likes and we got 3 dislikes. For the show, I'm going to give it about a B. Solid show. Which show is better for the week? As of right now, I'm going to say SmackDown, but this is how I'm going to do this when there's a pay-per-view. Okay? When there's not a pay-per-view, when it's just Raw and SmackDown, I'll decide who wins for the week. And tentatively, I'm going to give it to SmackDown because I think they had the better TV show. But I want to see how each brand performs at SummerSlam. Okay? On paper, I think SmackDown has a stronger card at SummerSlam than Raw, but Raw might outperform SmackDown. So, better TV show, yeah. But as far as which brand won for the week, you'll find out when I do my SummerSlam review, and then I'll decide which show won for the week. But as far as SmackDown goes, like I said, 8 likes, 3 dislikes. Gave it a B rating. And I'm going to upload this video now, and then I'm going to do my predictions video. And I'm going to watch SummerSlam tonight. I might do the SummerSlam review tonight as well. So y'all might get 3 fucking videos today from this channel, from your boy. So anyway, it's been episode 2. I'm Warren Freeman. I'm out.